The angels refused to enter Lot's house. Compare this with the visit the Lord and the angels paid Abraham in the previous chapter. When Abraham invited them to stay, they immediately agreed. But the two angels did not want to enter into Lot's house and stay there, because it was in such a wicked city. After Lot pressed upon them greatly, they went in and stayed with him. While the angels were staying in Lot's house, the Sodomites came to indulge in their sodomitical lust, coming from every corner of the city. A sodomite is a homosexual. Paul speaks of them in Romans chapter 1 verse 24 and 27. There are many sodomites today and much sodomitical lust is expressed. Sodomites seem to have no spirit. They are like brutal animals. Lot was even willing to sacrifice his two daughters to satisfy the Sodomites' lust. Whether he was forced to do this or not, he never should have done it. This shows that Lot's sense of morality had been drugged. We may use the smell of garlic as an illustration of this. If we were to eat garlic all day long, our sense of smell would eventually be drugged. If someone having a fresh sense of smell would come into the midst of the garlic eaters, he would immediately notice the scent of garlic. Lot and his children remained in the garlic room of Sodom for years, and their sense of morality was drugged. Lot would consider sacrificing his virgin daughters to save his two guests. How could he consider such a thing? Although he was a righteous man, he has lost his sense of morality and shame. In order to meet such a wicked situation, the angels smote the Sodomites with blindness, indicating that all the men in Sodom were blind and in darkness. All Sodomites are blind. If a man were not blind, how could he be a Sodomite? This shows that sinfulness blinds people. His children being corrupted. Lot's children were corrupted by living in a wicked city. The word of the angels in chapter 19 verse 12 indicates that Lot might have had sons as well as daughters. In chapter 18, Abraham might have considered that there were at least 10 people in Lot's family. The angel said to Lot, Hast thou here any besides, son-in-law, and thy sons, and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place, for we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxen great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it. Lot had to tell his sons-in-law and his children that God was about to judge that city. But when Lot preached the gospel to them, some would not believe the word from the Lord, thinking that he was joking. Verse 14 says, Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of the place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that jested unto his sons-in-law. Others of Lot's children had no sense of morality. Look at what his daughters did after they escaped from the city. After escaping from Sodom, Lot and his daughters still had wine with them. If they had not brought the wine with them, how else could they have had it in the cave where they were dwelling? How drunken they were by the sinful situation in Sodom. When I was visiting some saints in Las Vegas in 1963, they vindicated their living in that city, saying it is not wrong for us to stay in this gambling city because we are here as a testimony for the Lord. I did not argue with them, but deep within myself I said, if you stay here for some years, your children will have no sense about the wickedness of gambling. Many of the young people today have been drugged. Look at the way they dress. There is no sense of morality or feeling of shame. Many times when I am on the street, I have to shut my eyes. For young ladies to be without a sense of shame is to be without protection. Throughout the whole world, the sense of shame and morality has been drugged. because most of the young people were raised in a sinful atmosphere. Their senses have been drugged. But if they would come into the church life and remain in its pure atmosphere for a few months, they would never return to the sinful world. They would be unable to stand its smell. We live in an evil age and need protection from it. Our family and our children must be protected. We all must escape Sodom and shut our doors to its evil atmosphere. If we do not, our descendants will be drugged. How could Lot and his children have conducted themselves in the way they did after Sodom was destroyed? Because their sense of morality had fallen so low. If we remain in the fresh air, we shall immediately sense the bad smell of immorality. But if we do not discern any bad smell, it means that our sense of morality had been drugged.